Hey guys, Monica Moreno here of Collaborare.net LLC here in Austin, Texas, USA. I'm going to use a screencast to demonstrate how quickly and efficiently you can create a web bot for Slack.com using Howdy's Botkit SDK. Howdy happens to be a company, a cool company here in the Austin, Texas area. The owner, I recently was talking to the owner, the founder and owner of Howdy. His name is Ben Brown, and he was telling me how awesome and how quickly you can develop a web bot for Slack using their Botkit SDK. It's pretty awesome. I just experimented with it last night, and I'm about to show you how you can do the same. So first things first, if we go to the website for howdy.ai, it's actually this one here, howdy.ai, and you can find some really good information on there. But the SDK, you'll be able to find that on howdy.ai/botkit. And that is the page there for the botkit that these guys developed, which is pretty awesome. So they have in here, amongst other things, they have some sample code and some sample installation using npm sample code there, and some basic commands that you can use. So I'll be using those here in a minute, and to save time, I'll just be copying and pasting and just tweaking this code into my development environment, so that way we can take a look and see how quickly we can do this. A couple of assumptions. First of all, I'm assuming that you are familiar or have delved into Node.js and JavaScript, of course, and that you're familiar with webbots and also familiar with Slack, the Slack project communications website. So at any rate, so the first thing we need to do is we are going to go out into the let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit so we can get started from scratch and show you here. I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it pbot for the bot that we're going to develop. And the P stands for, by the way, it stands for Professor, which is the name of the family dog that we have here, whose picture I'm going to use for the webbot profile on Slack. So at any rate, so we have it here, and I'm going to npm init this guy, this folder, and just take all the defaults. There it is, and I'm just going to bring up the folder in Sublime. There's the package JSON file. And the next thing we need to do is, just like the instructions indicate in here, is we're going to npm install botkit and use the save flag to save that configuration into the package JSON file. So there it goes. Oops, I'm sorry. npm install. I guess I could have just copied and pasted that too. Botkit. There we go. And that's only going to take a few seconds, but while it's doing that, the first thing we need to, or the second thing we need to do is we need to go into Slack and create our webbot integration into our team profile here. So what I'm going to do, I couldn't find this link anywhere, so I just kind of, what I do is I go into a different tab, paste in using secure sockets the URL for my team in Slack, and then just append to it services/new/bot, and that will create a new bot for us with a unique ID, as you can see in the URL, and then you just fill in the blanks here. So for instance, our bot's name is going to be Professor Bot. Oh, I have an old one that I must have created. So we're going to just call it Professor Bot 2. There it goes. It's chugging away, and there it is. So it creates you the token, the name. You can upload an image, which I'm going to do here in a minute. And there he is. We are going to take the default crop there. First name is Professor, last name is Moreno. Experiments, he experiments with Slack bots using Howdy's Botkit. There we go. Save the integration. And there it is. There it is. So now if we go over here to our Slack channels, we can see Professor Bot 2 is in there. Now he's not active yet because we haven't run the server to activate him within Slack, and that's what we're going to come out here and do. So we have the Botkit SDK installed in here. So if we go to Sublime, or actually, I'm sorry, we're going to go back out to the terminal and we're going to create a couple of files. We're going to do index.js, and we're also going to do config.js. That's going to be where our token key is going to be. Come out here, index.js. There it is. And for now, instead of copying and tweaking this to save time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a copy of the stuff that I already did. And it's basically this sample code along with these sample commands, and I just tweaked them a little bit, as you can see in here, where I'm going to paste them. And a couple of changes that I made here before I start the RTM command here. I'm setting up the server to listen for key phrases. The first one being "Hey professor," which is that one there. The second one being the question "Hungry? Are you hungry?" And then when he responds to that, I want to look for a string pattern that reads "just one though." And then you can have other string patterns as well, but for now we're just going to keep it sweet and simple. And then of course, the other, what we're going to do here in the logic is, first of all, what I do is I console log the message that comes back from here, so that way we see what that looks like for debugging purposes. And then I'm just checking to see what the message text is that we run into. So for instance, if it's "Hey professor," then we want the bot, that is the professor bot, to reply with the message "woof woof." And if it's, for instance, "hungry?" then we want it to reply with something meaningful like "woof pepperoni please," which is one of his favorite snacks. And then when I tell him "just one though," you can only have one, he responds back with a growl or a grrr there. So, and then the catch-all is just a little message that says that he didn't understand what you were talking about. So at any rate, we take that code, and we also need to set the configuration in here. So we're just going to take what I already have in place here, put that right in there. This token's not the right one, however. Go out to the website. If you recall, the token's right here. Paste that in there. There we have it, index. And now we're going to run this server. Get the little administrative messages there, and came back just fine. No error messages, so no news is good news for that. And now if we go to the web site, to the Slack channel, you can see here that Professor is now active. It has a little green light on there. So zoom in a little bit there. There's a green light. So now if we go into that channel, and there's his bio, experiments with Slackbots using Botkit. See his picture there. Close that off. So now if we type one of the key phrases, for instance, what was the one? "Hey professor, hey professor." He comes back with the message "woof woof." So then if we ask him if he's hungry, he comes back with the message response, "woof pepperoni please," and tongue sticking out. And then if we tell him just one though, so you can only have one pepperoni, he growls at us. So there you have it. That took no more than like 5-10 minutes or so, and we now have a fully functional Slackbot in our Slack team. So please pay a visit to howdy.ai. They have a bunch of information in there covering that. They also have links in there where you can go and watch Ben Brown, the founder and owner, do his Slack event talk. He goes on there and he doesn't demonstrate, but he actually raves about how quickly and efficiently you can create a Slack bot using their Botkit SDK, as I just did. So thank you very much, and see you next time.